welcome to the first episode of 700 Stubs. I'll be leading you through a journey of discovery and shared human connection that for over 100 years has been brought to us by the always unique, sometimes magical, and often underappreciated and underutilized art form of the movies. In this first episode, we'll cover why this series exists, what its goals are, basically why we're here, and then we'll get into the first film starting the next episode. So first of all, who am I? My name is Mark Landry, and I'm a producer of educational content, a wannabe portrait artist, and occasional screenwriter.
Best movie ever made.
Who owes a generous amount of his social and intellectual development, for better or for worse, to the cinema of the 1980s. I think for the better, but I'm biased. So what's this series about? Why am I doing this? I've got one 2-year-old son and another on the way, which makes me officially an old dad. And given the life expectancy of males in the US is just over 77, I thought my kids might want to have some sort of record of just what makes their dad tick, since by the time they're old enough to want to know, I may no longer even reflect or resemble the person I had been for most of my life, the person I am now, if I'm lucky enough to be around at all. Unless, of course, we merge with AIs in the next couple decades and start living forever. No! YouTube is an easy place to store and access these videos for the future, so my kids will be able to see these, hopefully, if they care to, 30 years from now. Because movies shaped who I am as much as, if not more than, any other influence in my life, illustrating an impression of my personality through the films that I've absorbed is just about the most efficient way to convey just who this old man in the chair is for my kids or anyone else who cares to listen. Like any other cinema lover in their mid-40s, I've seen thousands of films by now, and I ain't stopping. So there's no possible way to tell you about every single one of them that affected me or maybe want to be a better person in specific ways. So how are we going to do this? Well, we have to narrow down that scope of thousands of films quite a bit. Luckily, there's a solution. When I was about 12 years old, I got a leather wallet, which I don't have anymore, with something engraved or embossed onto it.
It's the one that said bad motherfucker.
I think it was a cowboy or something like that. Anyway, I didn't have any money to put in it, but I started collecting all the movie ticket stubs that I would get every time I'd go to the cinema. The usher would tear the ticket, I put the stub into the wallet, and when the wallet got fat enough, I'd transfer the stubs into my piggy bank, which was this is the actual piggy bank, this football thing. I can't believe I still have it. And when it got fat enough, I'd transfer them all into this big box. And since they don't really make paper stubs anymore, since all tickets are digital now, the number of them that I have is pretty much set at about 700. So we'll go through those, one movie per episode. We'll start with a cadence of covering one film per week and see if I can get faster at this from there. Now, at this point, you may be asking yourself an important question. In what order are we going to go through these stubs? Chronologically by release date? Chronologically by screening date? Those aren't always exactly the same.
Not alphabetical.
No, my friends, we're going to do this high fidelity style.
Autobiographical.
That's right. No matter the date on the stub, I'll go through each film that I have a stub for in the order of when I first saw that film, even if it's not on the same day as the date of the stub. Make sense? And I'm going to try my hardest to put myself back into the headspace of being that version of myself at that moment when I first saw the film and focus on how it influenced me and sort of built up my personality. The key word here is personal. I'm not trying to do objective, formal, academic film criticism. There are hundreds, if not thousands of people doing that, and they do it very well. I'm not trying to explain films to every person on the planet. At its core, my audience is two people, my kids. And the goal here is to see if I can reconstruct my personality for them through cinema. So it's kind of an experiment. If it works, great. Anything beyond that would be just a bonus. But one hypothesis that I'm leaving room for in this little experiment, while every individual sees art through their own personal lens, there will be, I think, common themes of shared human experience that will resonate and connect people beyond just this one little frame, especially when the filmmakers that we're talking about were successful at crafting their stories as emotional experiences. We'll get into that more as we go. Just like with any experiment, I imagine that this may be the format now, but as better ideas come along, I may make some changes, so just kind of be prepared for that. And we'll just roll with it and see how it goes. I should probably also say that Anything that I express, any viewpoint or opinion is my own, and I don't represent any company here. Yeah. Sound fair?
I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
All right, then here we go. Our next video kicks off the first of our 700 stubs with a film whose promotional materials promise to make you believe a man could fly. See you soon.